All right. You know what time it is? MMA Gems Thursday. Getting ready for this card for UFC Rio, where we're going to see Charles do Bronx taking on short notice replacement Matus Gamrot. And we have a card full of a bunch of Brazilian high level guys. Well, sprinkled in high and low level guys. But uh, without further ado, we'll get this one started early. We're going to head on over where we have a battle between two Brazilian jiu-jitsu specialists. We have Luan Larcerda taking on Simone Oliveira. Um, both of them extremely decorated in the jiu-jitsu. We're gonna start with uh Luan Larcerda, and he fights out of Nova União, one of the most prestigious gyms in Brazil. His strengths are pretty skewed towards submissions, where he has 10 wins by submission. He's also obviously a BJJ black belt who's learned from some of the best in the game. Uh, he really doesn't have much else on overall on the feet. He leaves a lot to be desired. He's shorter for the weight class. Um, his whole angle is gonna be to grapple, mix up submissions, and try to brawl sometimes. But then you have Simone Oliveira, who is also a very decorated jiu-jitsu practitioner. And when you look at Simone Oliveira's game, he he brings pretty much the same thing, but maybe slightly better striking, is from what I could see. But they both are just going to look for submissions, and I think that this matchup, because of both of them looking for submissions, is is probably going to be evenly matched at the beginning of it. I don't know, but I think Simone Oliveira is one of the worst people on the UFC roster in any weight class. So I think Lasarda by decision or maybe at a late finish could be a good look, but I'm taking a look at over unders and I'm looking at the over 1.5. At least when I locked it in, we were looking at like minus 140 when I locked it in. I'm taking a look now to see where it's bounced since Tuesday. Because that's where all these odds are going to be on the graphic. They're going to be from Tuesday, so it'll somewhat give you an idea on movement too to see where we are here Thursday. But over 1.5 minus 145 still around where I got it at. I'm leaning it because I think that they're going to be able to cancel themselves out on the mat for at least a little bit as a chess match. But I think it's dog or pass. I'm not really going to pay on Larcerda here at minus 240, especially when I'm not impressed with him on the feet. It's going to be BJJ versus BJJ. Nova Union products probably going to have the better jiu-jitsu, so I'm going to have to lean him, but not for his minus 240 or now minus 250 on DraftKings. So that's my pick for it. How do you feel about this one, Mo?
Like you said, bro, this is gonna be a pure BJJ match, but I think it's gonna cancel each other out, and they're gonna end up striking. And when that happens, I think Simone Oliveira is gonna have the advantage. But then, like, I really don't think he could get the finish. But, like, they're both so whack. I don't even think Simone Oliveira should be in the UFC right now. He was supposed to fight Javid Basharat in his Dana White Contender Series fight, and then he pulled out. And then he got a split decision win, and he only got into the UFC because it was an entertaining fight. Like, he should not even be in the UFC. And then after he got into the UFC, he lost 2 or 3 times in a row. Like, bro, it's two very low level guys here. Like, that's why I like your over 1.5 pick, Mike, but like I don't really like I like it, but like it's kind of risky because they both fucking suck. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, not
anything could happen.
reliable to last at all. Yeah,
Yeah, like they're both garbage. That guy Oliveira, he's gotten finished both times in the second round in his 2 UFC fights. So it's like kind of risky. But I do think their BJJ is going to cancel each other out, and then there is going to be a striking match, and Luan Lacerda striking is bad, but like Simone Oliveira is like they're both bad at striking. Like it's
yeah.
disgusting, honestly. Like I don't even know. At that point, it's just a pick 'em. You know what I mean?
That's
Like
why I said that the dog has odds here that are favorable if you want to play something. I'm not going to be paying minus 240.
I'm not. I don't think I'm bet straight. I don't think I'm gonna bet anything on this fight unless I catch Luan Lacerda
Um,
alive. Like
I was looking at maybe method of victory. Let's see if it's like anything realistic. If you look at exact method of victory submission at minus 110 on FanDuel, That's might be a nice
What's
play.
KO at? What's KO at?
KO is gonna be at plus 300 on DraftKings, and then hold on,
Yeah, I did see that.
and then on FanDuel, we're looking at plus 320 for knockout. So yeah, but
Yeah,
hot
I
hand. How do
could
you feel?
definitely see that.
Hot hand, you alive? Hot hand in here. Hold up. Make sure. Yeah, he is. Yo. All right, fuck it. We'll move on and we'll ask him what he has in a minute. But wait, you're just saying dog or pass pretty much for your pick on this.
Yeah, it's basically dog or pass, but I'm gonna try to get Larcerda live if I like what he's doing. You know what I mean? If it looks like his striking improved, I'll definitely take him because I think he's the better fighter overall.
Yeah, it might be a live read for sure. Hot hand, last shot. Are you here? Nope. We'll move on to the next bout. We have Julia Polastri taking on Carolina Kowalkiewicz.
Before you even say anything, Mike,
Yeah.
look at Julia's odds for a KO, bro. I think that's so possible at plus 1,000, bro. That Brazilian crowd is gonna be
Yeah.
fucking going crazy.
Yeah,
Even the fight to end in KO.
yeah, that the crowd is gonna be going crazy in Rio. We have like when you're looking at it, you have Polastri, a young Brazilian striker with solid pressure, decent submissions, pushes the pace, throws high volume combinations, and she likes to control the center of the cage a lot. That's why I notice a lot. But her biggest challenge is just I feel like her IQ gets questionable and her composure gets lost against experienced people who could like survive like her initial pressure. Kowalkiewicz, you have like she's a veteran with years of high level experience. She's a volume striker herself, very composed, and she excels in like pacing herself. She has pretty decent cardio for a woman, but age and her recent losses show she's low key struggling with people that are like forcing pressure. Stylistically, I think it comes down to like Polastri trying to overwhelm her early and try to dictate where the fight goes, and at least bank like 2 rounds or get a finish before the veteran savvy of Carolina Kowalkiewicz comes into play. I do like Polastri here because her youth, her momentum, her output. I think it gives her the edge. I expect her to control a lot of the rounds and probably take it by decision, but maybe maybe
I
a
could see like a
finish.
ground and pound KO,
Yeah,
bro.
this is kind of like the what is it, Jillian Robertson KO he took at plus twelve
Yeah,
hundred.
yeah.
But I liked that read a lot more than I like this one.
Yeah, me too. But I feel like this has like Tabitha Ricci like
Yeah,
type of KO written all over it with a fucking elbow right on the cage.
Kowalkiewicz is a tough girl though. Um, if you look at like her topology, let's even how she got finished. She's only gotten knocked out one time in her career, and it was against Jessica Andrade 2018, who has some of the biggest power we've seen in the
Yeah,
division. So,
yeah.
and like she survived Yan Zhao Nan striking. She survived Diniz Gome striking. So I think that she could
I
probably
don't know. I feel like
survive.
I feel like I could just see
That's
Plastry
probably
pulling
why it's
off like
plus
a
1,000.
crucifix.
Yeah, I could see it. Just dominating her, but I'll probably lean towards decision. Um, Obviously it's women's MMA. You know, if you know Moneyline Mike, you know I like taking live for these. You can get ridiculous
Yo,
odd
bro, there's
swings.
a woman's fight on this card. I think it's the next fight. Bro, the over 1.5 is minus 140. Like, what the fuck?
Hot hand, you there?
Like, we just have to take that.
Yeah, my shit went crazy.
Are you good? Bet. What did you have for the first fight for Larcerda versus Oliveira?
I think I think they're both absolute shit. But I mean, I like the over, but that scares me because Oliveira is an actual pussy. Like he gets finished, bro, by like nothing. And well, but Lasarda is coming off a 2-year layoff, and if you look at their most recent fights, they usually last until round two. Like Oliveira lasted round two with Daniel Marcos, which is a crazy boxing threat. But I think their BJJ is going to cancel out, and I don't think either of them are slick enough to catch one of them in round one. So I like round two to start at minus 245 as a lay piece. But unless you're trying to catch something live, I would stay away from money lines.
And then this one.
Yeah, I like Polastri. I think she wins the decision. I think pretty dominantly. Carolina got a good chin, but I like the point Mo had with the ground and pound. I could definitely see a Polastri getting in the mount and just dominating her with the grappling. So it opens up the ground and pound. But I like
Yeah, I don't think it's
Polastri.
gonna be like a fucking obviously like a KO. I think it's just gonna be like a stoppage, like a TKO, where
Yeah,
like
Yeah.
she's
yeah,
just hitting
TKO,
her too
yeah.
much, like the
Yeah, but
Vanderford
that's
to
most of the time. That's most of the time what you're
Nikolai.
getting with these girls. So
Yeah,
Yeah, I
that's what
could
I feel.
definitely see that. But I like Polastri money line as a whole, but I mean she is kind of juiced for
yeah.
women's MMA, but I mean I think she does win this fight.
I'm taking a look right now. If you're taking a look for Julia Polastri in a same game parlay, possibly try to get something.
I do like Carolina's odds though. Like plus 350 is crazy.
Yeah, I
Yo,
know.
She's whack as the dog though. As the dog, she's like 2-5 as the dog.
And her durability a lot of the time is the type of style that has troubled Polastri in the past. So for the odds at plus 350, I I'm not saying I don't believe that Julie Polastri is going to win because I do, but if you're talking for implied probability, you're getting almost or you're getting over 80% here for Julie Polastri. That's a lot for women's MMA without a dominant pressure against a girl who has been in there
Yeah,
with some of the best
she's
on a
not no Zhang
decision.
Wei Li,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah. So I'm gonna side with Polastri. We're all gonna side with
I
Polastri
just
here.
realized that she was minus 400.
Yeah. So
Once High said that, like she's juiced, I looked up.
yeah. So
Yo,
I'm
I think so too. I think Carolina, her takedown prop is going to be live because if she's at plus 350, I think they'll have her at like .5, and I think it'd be plus money. And with a women's MMA fight, that they're like, neither of these girls are like that. So I think Carolina, through 15 minutes with a good chin, could definitely find the takedown at decent line.
yeah. Her plus 3.5's also at plus 100 flat. Uh, Probably a little less than I'd want for that, but I'd probably take her money line. Just
How the
by
fuck is it? How isn't it plus like 7.5 or plus 5.5, bro? That's so
they don't think that
stupid.
she's gonna finish
Well,
her though.
Emmett was like that
Yeah,
too.
they don't
Emmett
think that
was
she's gonna
minus
finish her.
100.
She's over 2.5 minus 445, like the over 2.5 rounds. That's on DraftKings
Oh,
at least.
okay.
So like they think
Yeah,
it's going the distance, but
yeah.
that's why the knockout's plus 1,000. So I
I don't
think
know.
that
All
is
I know is on this
value.
next fight with Irina Alekseeva, I have to try to take the over 1.5. I have to.
But we'll
Yo,
push
this
on from
fight's
that women's fight.
canceled.
Is that one canceled?
Yeah, nah, this one, Walker and Usman. I just seen someone just posted someone saying it was canceled.
Hold up, let me check real quick.
Check Big Marcel's page.
I don't know if it was verified, but usually this dude be on point when it comes to shit.
I see something 4 minutes ago. Walter Walker needs a new opponent. Muhammad Usman
Oh man,
withdrew from the bout Thursday.
what a fucking pussy.
What the fuck? That was possibly involving my pick was gonna be in this fight, the under 2.5 at minus 140.
Yeah,
But
Walker was getting a heel hook.
yeah, I guess we'll push on from there. The odds are still up. If it's not canceled somehow and this is fake, obviously I'm siding with Walter Walker and the under. Muhammad Usman could end up catching him with the hands, but I don't really think he's live to do that. I think the under 2.5 though is a nice play if it even fights. So, and if he doesn't fight, he's gonna fight some other Brazilian guy, probably from around the way. If they can get him a fight, and he's probably gonna be a bum, so Walter Walker's gonna be juiced. But we'll move on from that so we don't spend too much time. And this is where we have Stuart Nicoll taking on
Oh
Lucas
yeah,
Rocha. So Stuart Nicoll, I'm pretty sure he's Australian. Yeah, Australian prospect. He has really good jiu-jitsu in my opinion, and decent striking as well. Kind of surprising with his striking being such a good jiu-jitsu practitioner. Rocha though, he has nice Muay Thai style. When I was doing research on him, uh, I noticed that he does get tagged up a lot on the feet, especially back in his regional tape. But when you're looking at the two rising talents, Nicoll with only that one loss from Brisbane, he has notable jiu-jitsu, but he also has four knockouts. I will say his opponents have been very questionable, and he did just recently get subbed, but it was kind of him trying to go over the back, fell over the top, and then Jesus Aguilar caught him in his
Nigga,
patented.
Jesus Aguilar got a fucking
Yeah,
gilly on everybody.
yeah. So
It
like,
was just Stuart Nicoll being over aggressive, bro, because
yeah,
that's just his fight style.
and he's
He
an
got
aggressive.
caught.
He's aggressive in the grappling, and he's also aggressive with his striking. Um, So, and then Rocha, his Muay Thai, and he has a
Yeah,
specialist with
the
that type of
striking
kicks,
is
and he has
fire.
excellent clinch work when it comes to like Thai clinches and striking accuracy. But he aims to control distance and land clean strikes himself. The bout personally is just striker versus striker, but it also has the sprinkle in of the jujitsu aspect as well from Stuart Nicoll. Um, if Rocha,
And Rocha lost by rear naked last fight.
yeah, so that just
Clayton
shows,
Carpenter.
yeah,
Clayton Carpenter is more of like a fucking ground control. He doesn't really go for subs.
he has wicked guard though, Clayton Carpenter. But
No, he does. He looks for like the control though. He's like more of a control, like
mhm.
position over submission type of guy.
But Rocha, if he can maintain distance and utilize his Muay Thai, um, I think that he has a chance. But I overall think that Nicoll's probably going to close the distance. Land, he has crisper boxing, and um, I think that he can get a finish here, whether it be on the ground or whether it be in the striking realm. So I'm gonna personally take Stuart Nicoll on my lean. I think I like his odds. He was at plus 110. Right now he's at. I'm on DraftKings, which doesn't have the best odds notoriously, but they're at minus 102. FanDuel's plus 100 flat. Uh, so that's all right odds. I also am looking at the under, and it's at minus 175 now, but I had him in a parlay since Tuesday. I had it at minus 145. I'm gonna take a
Yeah,
look
I
over.
like the under in this fight.
We're gonna take a look over at yeah, under 2.5 minus 150 on FanDuel. So you're getting it at way better odds. Uh
Stuart
but
Nichols only been to a decision once, and it was a
yeah,
5 rounder.
yeah, so I'm gonna lean with the under here and Stuart Nicoll. Rocha could also get a knockout though, low probability. Well, not low probability
Nah,
because
it's not low probability. His
yeah.
striking is really good, bro.
So I'd probably like with the under for paying a little bit more, but if you want to go dog route, Stuart Nicoll's not a bad way to go. How do you feel about this one, Mo?
I think Stuart Nichols is gonna come out swinging due to his last loss. He's gonna take this as like his actual debut because he didn't have no contender series, no nothing. They just threw him straight into the fire with Jesus Aguilar, and he was doing good until he got caught with that gilly. And I actually bet on Jesus that fight too. So like it's like you got to know what you're working with. This fight, Rocha is very, very good with the striking. Stuart is as well, but then you got to realize Stuart got the wrestling in his back pocket. You can pull that out at any time. You know what I mean? The only thing you got to worry about is this nigga getting caught with a gilly while he goes in for the single leg. So you got to be careful with that because I feel like he could have avoided that gilly from Jesus Aguilar. If it was anybody else, he could have got out of it, in my opinion. But like Jesus Aguilar,
He
once he
kept
got that
trying
on
for it.
you,
Yeah, he kept
yeah,
digging for it. Like
he
his head
he
was
kept
almost popped
going
out.
for it too. Yeah, like
He
he attempted it at least 4 times in that fight alone, and that fight ended in 2 minutes. So that's how you know. And it's like Jesus Aguilar gets everybody with that shit. So it's like I don't really see. I don't know. Lucas Rocha's submission game isn't really all that. He's a Muay Thai specialist, and he's not looking for a submission. He's looking to put the paws on you, put the knees on you, put the elbows on you. And he got dominated by Clayton Carpenter his last fight. Let me look at the stats for that last fight. Let me see how long he was controlled.
uh yeah, but I will say Clayton Carpenter is a pretty strong fuck. The last time I saw him fight,
Oh,
um
he's really good. Trust me, I like Clayton Carpenter.
yeah,
He's
so do
fighting
I.
on
I'm
this
a
card,
fan of
isn't
him.
he?
Yeah, he's fighting, yeah, coming up in one of these next slides. But I know I remember him against Tagir Bekov.
That was a great fight.
Yeah. He fought well and that made me a little bit high on him. But
It was a
Hot
good
Hand, how
fight,
do you
yeah.
feel about this?
Yeah, I think this fight's gonna be determined on who's pressuring more, who's putting the other on the back foot. Because if Lucas Rocha has Nicoll on the back foot, he's gonna be able to open up more with the striking, and really shut down the takedown attempts because it's hard to shoot off the back foot. But now if Nichols going forward and he's able to set the takedowns up with the striking, it's gonna be Nicoll all day because he has the wrestling advantage. I'm very very mixed on this fight because I think Lucas Rocha has the better striking, but I think Nicoll is gonna have that wrestling and BJJ threat. But like I'm real 50-50 on it, but I do like a under on this fight. I don't want to pick a money line because I'm extremely mixed, but I do like a under. I think someone gets knocked out because both of them have good striking, but I could see Nicoll
And they're
subbing,
both
or
very aggressive.
I could see Rocha even subbing Nicoll on sloppy attempts, especially if Rocha's pushing forward and Nicoll's shooting off pressure or because he's hurt. But I think a under is probably your best play here.
All right.
Back to what I was saying though, Clayton Carpenter controlled Lucas Rocha for 3 minutes and 38 seconds in the first round and outstruck him 25-12. And then in the second round, as soon as the second round started, he got another takedown on him and held him there for 1 minute until he got the rear naked choke. So if Stuart Nicoll comes in with the right game plan here, he's winning this easily. And I think after his loss in the UFC in his first fight, he knows what he has to do here. He knows he doesn't want to lose again, and it's just like the stakes are higher for Nicoll here.
Yeah.
So I'm going with him.
We'll keep this one pushing. And we have Beatrice Mesquita making a UFC debut, taking on Irina Alekseeva. Alekseeva, scrappy veteran who mixes in decent striking with partially sneaky submissions. She struggled to keep pace against some bigger grapplers. When you're looking at Alekseeva, I remember in her last bout, she was a decent sized favorite, taking on no name Claudia Segula. Actually, sniped Segula at around plus 200 in that bout, but she lost to a really low level women's MMA fighter in general. I guess she had some decent boxing, Claudia Segula, but nothing that made me notice anything. Then you have Mesquita, undefeated prospect. Obviously, she was fighting out of LFA, so her competition was bad. But you got 4-2, 4-0. Like you're not getting as bad as I've seen recently with some of the women out of Brazil that they're fighting extremely low level, like 4 and 8 fighters and stuff like that. She has extremely high um uh jiu-jitsu pedigree. She's very decorated, has ADC and multiple time world champion, black belt. I think she has the record for most ADC championships for women. uh I'm liking Mesquita here. Her jiu-jitsu just miles ahead. Irina Alekseeva, I think she's way too much of a go. Like she has no breaks, so she doesn't think. She kind of reminds me of uh Macy Chasson, who kind of is just like straightforward downhill type of fighter, and it's not really thinking. It's kind of just throwing shit. I think that she's gonna end up making a mistake. Mesquita here is gonna find find her place, and she's gonna get the most likely get the finish. Um, before the podcast started, I don't know if it was right now or actually might have been during the podcast, but Mo said something about the over since the odds are so what different than what we're used to in a fight like this. Um, if you're looking at Irina Alekseeva's history, when it comes to going the distance, she's been the distance 5 times out of her 8 fights, and then you have Beatrice. Uh, I don't think she's ever gone the distance. She has not gone the distance. In grappling, she's gone the distance, but I'm not seeing anything really standing out yet. But her competition was questionable. I'm gonna take her. I'm not paying minus 520. I would never do that unless it was like someone extremely proven. Over 1.5 there, but at the same time, her whole thing is being a finisher, and I do not trust Irina Alekseeva at all. I think she's a sloppy fighter, and I think she's gonna get subbed here. Um, if you're looking at Mesquita via sub, you're getting minus 125 on DraftKings, and then over on FanDuel, you're getting it at minus 115. So you're not even getting plus money on the finish. I don't think there's value on that. That's my prediction overall. You can also get Bia Mesquita by points plus 330 if you think that Irina Alekseeva goes the distance. I really Alekseeva. She has been in the UFC. I don't trust her, but I can't really trust Beatrice either. So, uh, like my usual WMMA takes, I'm gonna overall lean with um taking a live bet here, especially on these juice odds. How do you feel, Hot Hand? No, you're our WMMA guy while Unk's gone.
Yeah, I think Beatriz has no no purpose of being minus 520. I mean, she's like 34 years old, only 4-0 in MMA, and all of her accolades are with BJJ. Yeah, she's beaten like high name woman in the sport of BJJ, but this is MMA. You know, there's punching involved. It's a lot deeper. And although Irina isn't your highest caliber fighter, I mean, she has that combat
Irina's tough
sambo.
as fuck.
I was gonna say she has that combat sambo background. She's never been finished, and I think she can kind of hold her own now. Once the fight takes place on the ground, I think Beatriz is going to have a clear advantage. But until she gets her down, I think Irina is going to have the advantage on the feet. So I like the Irina KO only money line at plus 240. I think if Beatriz wins, it's going to be a submission. And I think Irina could find the late volume KO. But I think Irina has all the value on her. I'm probably going to play her as a dog and the KO only at plus 240. But I think Irina could win a late finish or win a decision here.
And I know if you're playing that plus 240 KO only money line, if you're playing that and you don't sprinkle the plus 1600 KO, just don't talk to me anymore.
Bro,
KO is plus 1600.
I was looking at odds. Trust.
I do think she could get a KO here too. That's the funny part. Like she's tough as fuck, bro. I could see Beatrice just trying to pull guard and then Irina just like stacking guard and just cracking her, bro.
Yeah.
Bro, yeah, like BJJ people don't have the best
And
takedown.
you got
Like
to realize
someone like
Irina is very tough, bro. She's very very tough. Like the last couple fights I saw her fight, bro, she's been going through like very very tough fights, bro. And
Claudia
she
Segura
doesn't give
beat
up.
her ass. Beat the shit out of her, bro.
What?
Claudia Segura beat her ass, I'm saying. Like,
She did, but like Claudia Segula, she actually got hands.
yeah, she does have some really
She has
surprising
hands,
good
bro.
striking, yeah.
I was gonna say at this point, her name holds more weight than this fucking girl.
Yeah,
Like
bro.
all of
Honestly,
her accolades are just grappling.
and
Like,
that Claudia Segula fight was actually very close, bro.
No, I'm saying like yeah, it was only close because she was doing clinches and shit like that, but she can't do that here. She was
And you wanna know what's crazy? Alekseeva was a minus 275 favorite that
yeah,
fight.
I know. I faded her. I had her. Like you can look up in
Yeah,
my channel, in my note sheets that I usually drop the cheat sheets. I had
yeah.
Segula at dog
I
money
took Segula. I took Segula live that
plus
fight.
220. I had her pre fight, but we'll move on from this women's fight, and we'll go over to the heavyweight division. We have
Yeah.
Peter Griffin, Thomas Petersen taking on Vitor Petrino. Um, Vitor Petrino, Brazilian striker, uh, recently moved up to heavyweight. He's looking like he's on fucking ox steroids. Uh, got a finish last time. I think he was it Austin Lane he fought last fight.
I don't
Pretty
give a shit. I'm never betting Petrino again.
yeah, yeah, because he lost to Anthony Smith. He's not trustworthy,
No,
but
bro. He lost to Justin Jacoby, bro. Dustin Jacoby.
yeah, he's
He
good.
was literally, bro. Yeah, bro. But there was 1 minute left in the fight. He was like a minus 2,000, minus 3,000, and then like, why are you trying to act like you're Alex Pereira and then get knocked out?
Yeah, but
He tried to do a check hook the same way Alex does and got caught with a right hand and died when there's 1 minute left in the fight and you're minus 3,000, about to win the fight up 3-0. What are you doing?
yeah, so
Zero IQ, bro.
you definitely see that Mo's not taking Vitor Petrino, but to
And I
continue,
do like Thomas Peterson. He's nice, girl.
yeah,
He's
he's
nice,
well
bro.
rounded,
I just
but
think his chin is disgusting.
yeah, he doesn't have Vitor Petrino doesn't have to cut weight as much. Obviously, not his heavyweight. Thomas Peterson, um, former wrestler, pretty well rounded though. He has underrated southpaw boxing, and he's hard charging heavyweight with good finishing. He has 7 KO wins. He's also got some decisions in the UFC. Obviously, he just recently fought. I believe it was Dante Mays, but he was like upwards of like minus 400 in that fight. Uh, if you look back, he got knocked the fuck out by Shamil Gaziev, who is on the rise in the division. But um, you're looking here against a guy with Vitor Petrino, who's pretty well rounded and has power too. You're looking at the chin of Thomas Petersen, like Mo mentioned just a few moments ago. Uh, and Dante May's decision, yeah, I get that, but they could have stopped. Dante May was getting the fucking shit beat out of him in that fight. And Jamal Pogue's fat dude. Muhammad Usman's a decision merchant. And then before that finishes. Like, you know what I mean? He even got knocked out by Wall though, so that chin's definitely in question. I'm just gonna look at another round prop here. I'm gonna take Vitor Petrino as my lean, but he's not trustworthy for me. So I can't take Vitor Petrino on any type of money line. If you're looking at the under 2.5 here, you're getting that at minus 150 on DraftKings, and probably slightly better elsewhere, like minus 140 on some other books. So that's probably the route that I'll go here. I'm not paying the juice. Vitor Petrino is probably my pick, but not bet. How do you feel about this one, hot hand?
Yeah, I think Petrino wins, but I don't like him up at heavyweight. He really doesn't have the heavyweight build. I just think he's being lazy for the weight cut, but I think he's going to get checked at heavyweight very shortly, but I don't think Petersen is going to be the one to do it. I just don't think he's that very well of a fighter. Uh, Petrino definitely holds more power and more threat on the feet, and he definitely has a submission game to rely on if shit hits the mat. But I could see Petersen grinding out a slow, boring clinch work fight, gets a takedown, does a minute, 2 minutes control time, they get up. He stays away on the feet, but I think Petrino wins this fight, but I could see a path of victory for Petersen. So that's why I'm eerie on the minus 295 for Petrino. But I do think oftentimes or more times than none he beats Petersen.
Um, Mo, any parting words on this one?
Only parting words I have is that Thomas Petersen is gonna upset this fucking special ed bitch. If he doesn't die, if Petersen doesn't die, I promise you he's gonna win, bro. He's the way smarter fighter, the way more technical fighter, better grappling, everything, bro. Like only thing that Vitor Petrino has is submission threat over him and his power, obviously.
Yeah, but yeah, like I said, not trustworthy enough for me to lay
Yeah,
anything
nobody.
like
If
that.
you any of you guys bet on Vitor Petrino when you watch, if you watch this podcast, just don't watch this podcast anymore because we
You're
we're.
not
I don't know
listening.
if these. I don't know if these two are telling you to bet on him, but do not
No,
bet
I'm
on
not.
him.
I'm not
Yo,
either.
like don't take him, bro.
He's on
No
my
matter
ban
what.
list. He's on my ban list. But
Yeah, he's banned as fuck, bro. I'm
If you
never
get
touching him.
if you get subbed by fucking the number one
Anthony
ban list
Anthony Smith,
employee, fucking Anthony Smith, bro,
and
like
while he's
nah,
40 years
bro.
old, come on,
Yeah.
yo, bro, it's
we'll
ridiculous.
we'll take a move over now to a more exciting fight. With a little bit more trustworthy people. You have Joffel Filho taking on Clayton Carpenter. Um, uh, it's two guys with good jujitsu. Obviously, here Clayton Carpenter coming off a few tough fights. He got the submission victory over someone we talked about earlier. I think it was Lucas Rocha. Um, but he also had a tough loss decision wise to Tagir Ulanbekov. A fun flyweight scrap though, nonetheless for this one. Joffel Filho, extremely good jujitsu coming off of a loss as well, I believe. I think we took. No, I didn't bet on that fight. I took the under and I got cooked anyway. I took the under in that fight and I got cooked because they went to the decision. I'm pretty sure him and that I forget another decorated jiu-jitsu specialist, but Phil's got that classic submission heavy style, and he comes up and he like tries to get that inside clinch and stuff like that. Dangerous off his back too, heavy top pressure, sneaky setups. Carpenter's more explosive and mixing his better striking and strong grappling. He could get over aggressive sometimes, He has a wicked guard, in my opinion. He has good back takes. His jiu-jitsu is probably not as good as Jafel Filho's, but it is really good. Been fighting since he was extremely young. I think like 7 or 8 years old, something like that. Um, I don't really know what side I'm on. This is when I put these odds out. It was both sides. You can get them at plus money on different apps. Right now, I'm looking at DraftKings. You got plus 102 for Filho, minus 122 for Carpenter. So he's settling slightly as a favorite. I think the fight is really exciting, and I a lot of people are thinking the over in this one because of their grappling, but I think that aggressive style presents some value on an under here at over plus money. You're looking at fight to go the distance, and you're looking at that at on DraftKings at least. No at plus 110, under 2.5 plus 150. But I'm gonna slightly lean Carpenter here because I like him better in the striking, and I think Filho is gonna be a bit weaker. But Clayton Carpenter, I am slightly questioning his aggressiveness. That's why I think I like the under here. Both of them are gonna be looking for finishes. Especially Philo coming off a loss. Clayton Carpenter's trying to get his name out there. Um, both as the header says below, high tempo submission specialists. They're gonna be going at it, and I can see one of them slipping up. I'm gonna lean Clayton Carpenter slightly, but I wouldn't be surprised at all. I know a lot of the money when I was looking earlier is on Philo, sharp money at least, because I know way more of the bets are on Carpenter, but the money's coming in on Philo. So it's kind of like a coin flip fight, though. How do you feel about it, Mo?
This is a beautiful fight right here. I love this fight. It's a very high level fight. Like finally, for once, we did not cover one high level fight this entire fucking card. That's all I want to say. This one we got two dogs here. Clayton Carpenter, he's very aggressive, but he's gonna come out and look for top control. But Rafael Filho is a fucking BJJ specialist, bro. He will pull a sub out of his ass and get something done. And he has very, very, very good striking, and he has very good power. I think his striking is way better than Clayton's, but I think Clayton's wrestling is way better than Filo's. So this is like a pick your poison type of fight because if you favor grapplers, you got to go with Clayton. If you favor like BJJ with the striking, you got to go Filho. But I'm honestly like this is a coin flip for me. I'm taking one of them live straight up because I got to see how they started off, and if Clayton gets the takedown, Filo's live odds are gonna go to like plus 200 or higher. So at that point, I'm gonna take Filho, and then you know what I mean. I'm gonna catch both of them. This is gonna be a fight where the odds are gonna fluctuate as the.
I lost you for a second.
Yeah, I was getting a call.
Oh, there you go.
I said this is gonna be a fight where the odds. This is gonna be a fight where the odds fluctuate back and forth because they're both gonna have their moments in the fight. You got to be able to catch both of them at a good time. Like I said, when Clayton gets the takedown, that's when you take Filho. It's gonna go to like plus 200 or above. And I do think I do think Filho is very live to get a KO here.
Okay. Hot hand, how do you feel?
Yeah, I think if Carpenter could get the wrestling going, he's gonna have the clear advantage and rack up control time. But what scares me is Philo's submission attempts because everyone knows his BJJ game is legit, and Carpenter being young, I could see him wrestling into a submission. But I think Carpenter is very well rounded as well as Philo. But I think Carpenter is gonna do more, rack up control time, and possibly find the finish. I don't. I don't really see Philo winning unless he catches a sub off his back or some sort of reversal. But I don't see him implementing his own ground game, as I can't see him getting a takedown on Carpenter or a reversal or creating a scramble. I think he scrambles into a sub, if anything. But I think Carpenter is going to be sharper on the feet, and I think he's going to come back off this Tagir Ulanbekov loss, come back, get back in the win column. But I like Carpenter at the value, but I wouldn't be surprised if Philo subs.
Yeah. Um. So this fight's gonna be intriguing. I'm leaving the under. Uh. at
Listen,
plus
I feel
20.
like if somebody gets a finish, it'll be Filho. If it goes decision, it's gonna be Carpenter.
Yeah, I like Carpenter though. The more he gets into minus territory, the least I like it because I think there's value of him at around even odds. But when you're getting up to like minus 130, minus 140, minus 150, now we're talking like, uh, so I like Carpenter here as my overall lean, but I could see either guys finishing. They're both gonna be hungry. We'll keep this one pushing though. But this is before we're gonna get into the. That was actually the feature fight of the prelims, at rightfully so. Now you have, before we get to the main event, talk about the Fade Factory, free Discord, per usual. Every sports in there. Bunch of top cappers. We also have Fade Plus that we just started up with Meek, Locks by Carson, and Pete, NBA Pete. So we have a couple things in the Discord. MMA Gems, of course, which where's the money's being made for the MMA. If there's dudes fighting, we're in there. We just came off of an extremely profitable Dana White Contender Series card. My man John Pork came through by decision plus 650 on the smack. A couple other snipes throughout the night. Uh, but the MMA Gems, $10 a month, 25 for three. Not gonna get better bang for your buck anywhere else, especially when you're looking at guys that are long term profitable, have the verified picks out there, know what they're talking about, doing the tape study, not just your guys that are on Instagram, negative all time, trying to tell people how to read picks. So get right or get left per usual, and we'll get into this main event. We'll start with Michael Aswell taking on Lucas Almeida. Aswell, young, aggressive guy, very durable on his chin, decent striking, decent pace, but he's lost some close decisions. Obviously, Almeida is the more seasoned veteran, um, in his mid 30s, 9 knockouts. He's a strong striker with a good finishing record. He's looking for the kill. He's had some mixed results lately, which led him to this fight with the up and comer Aswell. But I'm gonna, I don't know overall how I'm gonna side with this. I think Michael Aswell is going to be more durable, but Lucas Almeida is going to be way crisper in the striking. I'm probably going to have to lean with Aswell on the side, but when I'm paying my over minus 150 on guys, that's like 60% implied. Starting to get iffy, but I think that Aswell's durability will help him out. He's growing, and the age difference, it's like 9 years or something like that, an age difference. And typically on close fights, I try to lead to the younger fighter. So I'm going to side with Aswell. And when I'm talking about an under over, with Aswell's durability, I could see him possibly getting a finish and a counter strike, but I'd probably lean the over. But I'm gonna side with Aswell. Betting wise, there's a couple things I'm looking at right now, but I'm gonna let these guys go off and then get back to you. How do you feel, Mo?
My thing is with this fight is Lucas Almeida relies on finishing people in his high damage to win fights. And Michael Aswell, that nigga not getting knocked out, bro. His chin is ridiculous, bro. And I like he almost beat Balagioki. So I don't know. I think Michael Aswell is winning this fight here. I like him. I think this is gonna be his first W in the UFC.
Do you have anything bet wise that you like?
Michael Aswell, money line.
That's it.
Good enough.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. How about you,
I mean,
hot
I could
hand?
look, I could look for something, right? The thing is, I haven't really looked at the everything for this fight, so I don't
Yeah.
really know the odds. Let me try to guess something
Might to
else.
go the distance at minus one.
Let Hot Hand talk while I look for something. But for now, Michael Aswell money line minus 140 is great. Like what?
How about you, hot hand?
Yeah, I mean, I think they're both pretty bad. I don't really like Lucas Almeida, and I don't like as well, just based off the fact he eats a shot to give a shot. And I think sooner or later these significant strikes are gonna add up and his chin's gonna get cracked. But I don't think Lucas Almeida is the one to do it. But I don't like playing either money line here because I think Almeida is garbage, and I think as well as his chin's gonna get cracked soon. But I do like a over. I think Aswell's chin holds up in this fight, and Almeida isn't really gonna be able to keep up with Aswell in his face. But I think over 1.5, over 2.5 could hit. But I don't like playing either money line here.
Hold on, I'm so sorry to cut you guys off, but yo, I just realized Filho sold me so bad in his last fight against
Yeah,
Nascimento.
yeah, he did.
And bro, I had so much money on him that fight, and he lost specifically because he would give up the top position. Like, he would get the takedown and get reversed and then stay on the fucking bottom. Like, this is a BJJ match. That completely just changed my whole entire mind. Like, I completely forgot about this fight. Like, literally completely forgot about this fight. Now, yeah, I'm going back, bro. We going back. Clayton Carpenter money line. Fuck Theo.
All right,
What the hell? I can't
we'll
believe that shit.
move on from this bout overall, and we'll get over to Ofli versus Ricardo Ramos. Another low-level bout, in my opinion. We have a slick Muay Thai type of
Yo, Mike, hold
creative.
on. How can my boy join the podcast?
What do you mean join? We're in the
He's
no,
try-
we're in
he's
the
trying.
gem lab right now.
Oh, okay, so he
So
can't come and listen.
no, it's no, only the gem members are able to watch live, and then we post it up on the YouTube right after this.
All right, but
All right, but you have Muay Thai, slick, creative striker, Ricardo Ramos, who also has decent jujitsu. Well, not decent, good jujitsu as well. Taking on Ofli, who's a pressure-based grappler with somewhat underrated boxing, but I'm super low on him overall. Ramos is best when he's flowing with those ridiculous spinning elbows that everyone seems to fall for and get knocked the fuck out by. He's dangerous everywhere. He lost to Chepe Mariscal, but Chepe has weaponized pace. I know we took Chepe in like over 1.5 rounds or something like that, but I don't really fault him too much for that. El Chepe is a bit durable, and it's kind of like the style that Ofli has, but Ofli is like a fucking pay less fucking Chepe Mariscal without the weaponized cardio. So Ofli is the compact, strong guy who strives in chaos. He'll pressure forward, throw somewhat heavy hands, look to drag you into scrambles so he can try to lay on you and shit like that. I like Ramos if he can stay composed and pick his shots when he starts flowing. And I could see Ofli coming in and getting caught with a spinning elbow, getting knocked the fuck out. Ofli probably does have better IQ and probably going to shoot low for the legs, try to make this fight a bit boring. But with I think this fight is a cut fight overall. I think whoever loses this fight, if not both of them, are getting cut. Ofli, I'm super low on him, so I'm gonna definitely side with Ricardo Ramos here. I think he gets it done, either by knockout or decision. I'm gonna lean in under here, for the round guess. I just think that Ricardo Ramos and him are both gonna have such a high pace going at it to each other that the only way that I could see it getting done is if Ofli does some boring ass cage shit, which isn't like super low probability, but I think that for plus money on the fight not to go the distance on guys who notoriously have a lot of finishes in their career, it's not a bad look. Um, you're looking at method of victory. You can look at the knockout. Uh, over. Let me see the knockout real quick. Exact method of victory knockout. You're getting over plus 300. Submission around plus 200. I'm gonna lean the under. I'm gonna lean Ricardo Ramos. And yeah, Ricardo Ramos. I'm super low on Ofli, so I'm gonna take Ricardo Ramos here. How do you guys view it? I'm gonna that might be my collab pick just because I see Ricardo Ramos going to minus 200 though, so that's starting to get a little iffy for me. But as of right now, I'm thinking about that. How do you guys feel though about this fight?
Yeah, I think Ramos is a beautiful lay piece. I think Olfi sucks. I mean, he only looked good when he was fighting in the Australian regional scene, and the level of competition, uh, trash. That's all you got to know. And I mean, he comes into the UFC, he loses, and now he's facing Ramos. And I think Ramos just brings more to the table. I think he's a more dangerous striker. I mean, he isn't more technically sound, but I think he strikes or he brings the combinations up to better than Olfi. And I think Olfi's only method to victory here is through crotch sniffing. But I think that at this point in his career, I think he's trying to, impress. I think he's trying to make a name. So I see him trying to go for the finish. I do like a under. I think Ramos could knock him out on the feet, find the sub. or Olfi could find the sub. But I do think Ramos is going to be way more active. I think he's going to present problems everywhere this fight goes. And I think Ramos gets it done.
HotHand or not HotHand, Mo. How about you?
Oh, yeah. I think Ramos's sub only at -145 is a good play, too.
How about you, Mo?
I like Ramos in this fight here. Ofli. I was so high on him at first, and he's just let me down so many times. And it's not even because of that. Like he has solid like skill and base. Like he has a good camp. Like he trains at a good gym. He's just like not durable, bro. He be getting finished too easily. Too easy. Don't get me wrong. Like he has a pretty good chin, but did you see the way? What's that nigga's name? The little Brazilian kid who just got a robbery decision against our boy, the white
Oh,
guy.
Myron Santos.
Yeah, Myron
yeah.
Santos. You see the way he knocked him out, bro? Like that
He
was
did
literally
awfully super
ridiculous.
bad, yeah.
Yo, bro, that was so bad. And then the next fight after that, I'm like, all right, hopefully he's gonna come back after that, bro. He has really good wrestling, you know what I mean? He has good positioning. He knows how to keep top control. If he needs to strike, he has decent striking. He's just so little for the division. I feel like Ramos is gonna baby him.
Yeah. So we're
I
all
just
pretty
hope,
much on Ramos.
I just hope Ramos doesn't get caught when he does a spinning elbow and
Yeah.
dies.
That's
Or
why I
he,
like
or
the under.
hopefully could possibly jump the back when he does that. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think this fight is definitely going under. I think somebody's
It's
going to
plus
sleep
money.
here. Is it?
Yeah, under is plus money. Already had it in a parlay since Tuesday. I've had
Yeah, I
that.
like that.
I had this parlay. I'll say it really quick while everyone's here. But I locked this one in on Tuesday. Well, hold up before we go there. Yeah, the under is plus money. Have had that in. I've had a lotto on rounds because that's about all you can get on fucking Tuesdays. But it was the over 1.5 in the Luan Larcerda fight. Under 2.5 in the Rocha fight. Under 2.5 in the Petrino fight. Under 2.5 in this fight. Over 1.5 in the Diniz fight, and under 2.5 in the Walter Walker fight at plus 2,700. But yeah, I like the under at plus money here. So does Mo. Hot hand, likes Ramos. So I'm just low on Ofli, so it was an auto fade once I saw his name. Then I did the research, it kind of backed it. But we'll keep it going, and we'll look to move over back to the heavyweight division, um, where red alert, we have an undefeated prospect coming in, and it should be fireworks as he takes on veteran kickboxing, um, former Glory kickboxing champion. But Diniz is pure violence, long, powerful, and throws every kick and punch with fighting intent. He does tag you up from the outside. I will say he did not impress me in his last fight. He made Alvin Hines. I know he was fucking Alvin Hines up. Alvin Hines was pressuring him, Diniz hit him out. Round 3, he made stuff grimy. Uh, he's got that polished stand-up striking, though, tight guard composures, and the high-level striking competitions for years and years. Pinto, new blood, explosive, athletic, and dangerous in the pocket. He doesn't have Denise's technical like depth of how he like sits, but I think he's faster and more fluid in combination, and he can surprise people with his timing. He's decently strong within the grappling, but we haven't seen him do enough to really rate. Stylistically, it comes down to range and discipline. I think if Diniz can keep like it clean from the outside and use his kicks to manage distance, he should be able to pace and piece Pinto up from the outside. But if Pinto can close the gap and make it dirty and possibly get it to the ground, then you get Diniz reacting instead of dictating, and he's definitely live to strike here. I think that it's going to be more of a chess match to start off, unless Pinto shoots in blind and just goes crazy. Um, I didn't like how Diniz looked in his last fight, like at all. Kind of made me lose a little bit of hype on him. So I think Pinto's a little bit faster. I don't like bet on undefeated prospects too, so this fight might be one that I'm taking live. I do like the over 1.5. When I got it before, it was -180 in a parlay. Now you're getting it at -200 as a parlay piece, so I can't really give that. But uh, when you're looking at this fight, I think that maybe the Mario Pinto plus 3.5 could look all right. I think that Pinto could steal around if he doesn't. I don't really see Diniz really straight stone cold stunning him. So I like the over 1.5 for like a plus 3.5 for Pinto. Uh, I'm probably a slight maybe lean on Diniz, but this one is a coin flip. I could see either one having passed to victory. But how do you feel about this one, Mo?
Yo,
Yo,
Mario Pinto and Jonathan Diniz is going to be a straight stand-up fight, and this is exactly what Diniz been looking for ever since he got into the UFC. So I don't know. He's a polished kickboxer. He has like over 50 kickboxing fights. Very good record. Mario Pinto does have a lot of power. He is very raw. I do think he's going to lean on his clinching. This fight. I don't know, man. The odds definitely are right here. This is like a very, very pick-em-ish fight. I do think Jonathan Diniz has the better striking and is going to be a stand-up fight, so I lean him. But I do think Mario Pinto has more of the KO power, so got to be careful with
and if
that.
you're looking at
I
the
feel
opening line too, not to cut you off, but the opening line you had Diniz at minus 225, so there is kind of value on his line coming in. Pinto at the
yeah,
plus 190.
I do like him. I lean him 100%, but you got to realize Mario Pinto does have that KO power,
Yep.
so you never know.
Hot hand, how do you feel?
I like Diniz though. Money line.
Hot hand, how do you feel?
You could also sprinkle Denise's decision. I don't know the odds on that, but I know
Plus
they'll be high.
330.
Yeah, that would be a great sprinkle.
Yeah, I like Diniz here. I think he's gonna offer more, considering I think this fight's gonna take place striking and kickboxing, and we know Diniz was a glory kickboxer. He's gonna have way more experience. I think Pinto only offers the power, to be honest. I think Diniz is, yeah, he struggled with Alvin Hines, but I think he's just very durable. And I think that's why we're getting Diniz at a discount
Didn't
here.
did, didn't we catch Mario Pinto live at Good Money versus Austin Lane or something like that
Yeah,
against the
Yeah, he
Trade
was
yeah.
Game?
losing. He was losing because he was a big favorite going
Yeah,
into the
yeah,
fight, and
yeah,
then we got him after
exactly.
round
Yeah,
one. Yeah.
yep. That's what I'm saying. Like, bro, he's only there live for a
Yeah,
flash
but
knockout
if he's
KO.
looking, if yeah, he was looking bad against Austin Lane. So,
Bro, yeah,
but Denise is
exactly.
kind of
Bro,
set
like
back and relaxed. So,
watch
Basically, slam Deniz.
watch Deniz's last fights. He's so technically sound. He doesn't throw looping punches like Pinto.
I
His
watched him
defense is
live.
so
He's
much
great.
better. Bro, like he's very technically a technically sound fighter, and I think while Pinto is looking for these wild loopy hooks and haymakers, I think Deniz is going to keep it simple with the low calf kicks and strike with tight shots right down the pipe while Pinto is trying to swing wide. I think Deniz is going to be way better. I think he has the experience and he's fighting in his home country. So give me Deniz at minus 115. I think he's a good play here.
all right, well, we'll keep this one
I
pushing.
think if you take Deniz, you should take his money line, and then you choose whether you want to sprinkle KO or decision. I do think it goes to a decision. I lean,
I
but
think decision. I
if
already
that
took it.
like you know how that Brazilian crowd be hyping them up and like be booing and shit, so he might go for it
Yeah,
eventually. You
you
know
got
what
to
I
think
mean?
about the judging. We have to factor that in here. We don't know about the Brazilian judging. Um, we do have to factor that in.
Not even about the judging. I'm just saying, like in that type of environment, he might go for it. You know what I mean? They're gonna be going crazy over there for him.
All right, well, we'll bounce over to this next fight where we have pretty wide odds. We have Joel Alvarez taking on Vicente Luque, the silent assassin, taking
Yoel
on.
Alvarez round one knockout.
Yeah, Joel Alvarez here.
Not even
Who
gonna lie, he could probably get the submission too. Sorry, Mike.
Yeah, he's submission
He's
specialist.
dirty.
Most of his fights, he has 17 wins by submission, including triangles, guillotines, a bunch of ranges of different stuff. He has a reach advantage in this one against Vicente Luque, who is getting older, but he's a relentless striker. Well, at least was. Jiu-Jitsu black belt, but didn't he get? I think he got put in a Darce or an anaconda choke, which he loves to do himself in his last fight. He's known for his fighting instincts and finishing instincts overall. Um, He's on his way out though, getting washed up, getting paired here with Joel Alvarez. Uh, I do think that the odds are a bit ridiculous. Not ridiculous, but a bit wide. Um, I think Vicente Luque is a little bit better than the plus 425 dog. Uh, I think Alvarez's grappling skills and his reach advantage could pose challenges. Luque could keep the fight standing, possibly, and maybe use some of his durability. He has the tools to at least make this fight a little bit closer than plus 425. Um, it's probably gonna be Joel Alvarez round one knockout. Let me look at the odds on that right now. It's plus money. I was thinking round two to start, but I don't trust Vicente Luque at all. Um, if you're looking at his previous bouts, Vicente Luque, um, anyway, he lost to Kevin Holland, who's one of the most unreliable guys out there. Got put in a fucking submission in the second round. It would have hit the round two to start, but Kevin Holland is not he's not a powerful striker to snipe you out of there. Uh, I don't know. I'm I'm gonna take Alvarez, but I'm not gonna bet him at minus 500. But a lot of people do that, and I don't see it. You have he's subbing guys, but like I'm looking at all of his wins and losses. He's fighting decent competition, but he hasn't really been winning. Like Rafael dos Anjos, like washed. Demba Garimbo, that's an auto fade back in the day. I think I took Vicente Luque against Garimbo. Kevin Holland lost, and then he's pretty much getting put to bed. I got Joel Alvarez by knockout, but I do think the odds are a bit wide, and I think you could possibly take round two to start or Vicente Luque. Not on the basis that he's gonna win the fight, but at plus 4 to 1 odds, a sprinkle to save your ass if you have Joel Alvarez in multiple parlays is suitable. How do you feel about this one, Hot Hand?
Yeah, I'm very big on Joel Alvarez. I think his style's unique and his finishing ability is even better. But I think Joel does not deserve to be minus 500 just based off the fact he's coming up a weight class. This is his 170 debut, and he's fighting a tough opponent at 170. I mean, I think Joel walks through Luque, but I think just based off the fact him coming up a weight class and we haven't seen him here yet, kind of makes me question why he's that high. But I think with him coming up, he's gonna have more power in the hands. I think he's gonna be more live for an early finish. I do like Alvarez to win in rounds 1 or 2 at minus 200, or you could take him just KO at plus 140. But I think there is still value on Alvarez's finish. I do foresee a KO just because he's coming up a weight class, and I think he's gonna have that extra power, and Luque's gonna feel it. But I think Luque's at the end of his career. He's been fighting for a while, and I think Alvarez is just a dog, and it's gonna show.
Mo.
Luque looked amazing last fight. I love him, but he's playing with a different animal now. This is not Demba Garimbo, bro. This is Big Yoel Alvarez, man. He's about to come out hot and get a round one finish.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
That's what you're taking. You're taking the round one finish.
Yeah, I'm taking Yoel Alvarez round one. And I'm praying to God like that Vicente Luque comes out and like wobbles Yoel Alvarez real quick just so I can slam everything on Yoel Alvarez.
All right, well, we'll push on to the co-main event here, and we got Davison Figueiredo taking on Montel Jackson. Montel Jackson getting this step up after taking on, was it Daniel Marcos, or I think that was who it was, Daniel Marcos, in close comp. Nah, maybe not close. He kind of did beat up um uh Marcos, but Jackson longer for the division, taller for the division. Then you have Davidson Figueiredo, obviously somewhat smaller for the division. I don't. The lines are a bit wide here when you're talking Montel Jackson. You would think that I'd had the graphic wrong a couple of years ago if you looked at it because of how dominant Figgy was. But up in this weight class, they are giving him tough fights. Um, but I do think the reach of Montel Jackson could pay dividends here, and he isn't terrible in the grappling realm. I think Figgy's best route is to probably get this to the mat. uh, the rangy, explosive striking of Montel Jackson with also a wrestling base. Gonna be tough though. He has the most knockdowns. Uh, up, he is up there with some of the most knockdowns in the division. And Figgy, former flyweight, known for his aggressive striking and grappling, but I think most of his jiu-jitsu in the black belt's gonna be what's coming into here. His smaller stature doesn't really mean much though, because he finishes fights and he's gonna be going at it. I'm gonna slightly lean Montel Jackson. I think the odds are a bit wide, but I think that he can get it done here. And Figgy's on the downside of his career. He is coming off that knee injury too. You don't know how he's gonna move. I I I think Figgy's gonna aim to close the distance. Gonna use his aggression, try to grapple to neutralize the striking, but I don't think he's gonna. I don't think Montel Jackson's gonna be overwhelmed. And I think Jackson should be able to secure the victory on probably a decision. I'm assuming it's 3 rounds, so yeah, a decision. But if you're taking a look at lines, I'm not paying minus 290 for Montel Jackson. Now at minus 325 on DraftKings. Now that I'm taking a look, so it's juiced even more since Tuesday. Uh, I don't know about this fight. How I'm gonna play it. I probably take a look at Figgy takedown props when they come out. Probably be good numbers, but how do you guys view this? How do you think about this one, Mo? Or Hot Hand?
Yo, my
Oh, there,
bad.
Mo.
My
Okay.
my shit is muted. I like this fight a lot for both fighters here. I don't know if it's too soon for Figgy to come back or not because he looked like dog shit in his last fight and he had a pretty bad injury. But plus 240 on a former dominant champion, bro. Like, come on. I don't know. I do like Montel Jackson a lot. You know what I mean? And he was picking odds against Damon Blackshear, and even before that Blackshear fight, I was super high on Montel Jackson, and then I still somehow faded Montel Jackson and lost money. And I was very sad about that because I knew Montel Jackson was legit. So if I faded him against Damon Blackshear, you think I'm not taking Figgy at plus 240, bro? Come on now. I have to. It's like plus 240 on fucking Davison Figueiredo. Come on, bro. You're bugging. I don't care. Montel Jackson had a very, very close fight with Daniel Marcos. I understand Marcos was undefeated, but this is a whole different level. Like he's climbing levels right now, and Davison is like 2, 3 levels ahead of Marcos.
Yeah. Hot Hand. How do you feel?
I said this shit weeks or not weeks ago, but days ago. I was like, why the fuck is Figgy plus 240 against Montel Jackson? Yeah, Figgy, his last two, he got beat the fuck up by Jan, and then he blew out his ACL against Sanhagen, but they're literally the top two in the division. Like, he's been fighting the best comp. He's a former champ. His only two KO losses are a doctor stoppage against Moreno and his blown out knee against Sanhagen. So he's never been finished. And I think Montel Jackson, he's gonna have the striking advantage just based off his reach. He's really gonna throw that jab and straight down the pipe a lot, and I see that finding a lot of success. But I think Figgy could work in clinch work and make this a dirty fight. I think he's more experienced. He's been in these types of storms, and Montel Jackson, he's coming off a win against Daniel Marcos, like Mo said, but who's Marcos compared to Davison Figueiredo? So I think all the values on Figgy here at plus 240, and or you could take Figgy and then take Montel Jackson by decision as a hedge. But I think Figgy has all the value, and I think Figgy could very easily win this.
Yeah, I'm looking at the overs too for this or fight to go the distance. I don't really see Montel Jackson getting a finish. Biggie, like the durability that Hot Hand just said, and I don't really see Jackson unless he gets subbed, which you can play around with live with odds on that for a hedge. But I'm gonna lean the over, and we're gonna head over to the main event of the evening. Charles Do Bronx taking on short notice replacement Gamrot here. Um, you have the wrestler of Gamrot who's coming in off of a victory taking on Charles Oliveira, jiu-jitsu and striking specialist, coming off a vicious, brutal knockout from Ilya Taporia. I think it might be a little too soon of a turnaround for Do Bronx. and especially since he was just training for Rafael Fiziev, which was pretty much an exclusively striking-based camp. I think that's gonna suck here against Gamrot. But with that being said, I still think Gamrot, the way he shoots for takedowns, head outside and stuff like that, it's gonna Oliveira's gonna welcome the ground game. He has a dangerous guard. I know Gamrot has good defensive jiu-jitsu or overall defensive grappling as it is. We've never really seen him put in too many compromised spots on the ground. I still think that it's a threat from obviously Charles do Bronx of anyone. Gamrot obviously never being finished in his career, but odds are pick him here. I don't like the angle of Charles do Bronx not training for wrestlers and then having to fight a really good wrestler. He has good jiu-jitsu, and I think he definitely has the better striking than Gamrot. This fight is close, but I'm going to have to side with Charles do Bronx. Not only because it's in Brazil, but I don't think he gets finished by Gamrot. So it's
Charles
either...
the Predator. Watch your mouth.
What?
It's
Predator.
not his name, bro. That's not his name no more. Charles du Bronx isn't his name. It's Charles Predator Oliveira now. Get with it.
Alright, so the Predator money
He
line.
changed it. I'm dead
I
ass.
know,
He changed it 2
I
days
saw
ago.
someone say it in chat earlier.
He literally like changed his Instagram, everything. He made a whole post about it. He like, oh, I'm always hunting people, so just call me the Predator or some shit. I'm like, okay.
But yeah, I'm gonna side with Oliveira here. How about you, Mo?
Bro, I've been back and forth so many times. At first I was on Oliveira, and then I was on Gamrot. And then I'm like, wait, Charles Oliveira is minus 102, minus 110, whatever the fuck it is. How can I not take him? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I don't know, bro. It's like it's very fucking tough here, bro. I feel like
I do like an
Charles
under.
Oliveira could find the sub. I don't know. Yeah, I do like an under here too. What is this? This is a 5 rounder.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do like an under. What is the under over? Over
Um,
under plus.
I'm under 2.5. It's a different on these at 3.5 on under 3.5 is minus 130 on DraftKings. On FanDuel it's 2.5 and it's plus 104 for the under. Over 132 at over 3.5 rounds is plus 100. I like the under here. I don't.
Under 3.5 at minus
Yeah,
130. I mean,
yeah,
if you're gonna do that though, you might as well just take Oliveira by finish. You know what I mean? Because if it goes over, then that means Mateus Gamera is gonna be winning.
yeah, but if there's still like that random ass one small percentage chance that Charles Oliveira's chin is completely disintegrated now.
Yeah,
Especially
that is very true. That is very true. It did look bad last fight.
especially after
He is
that.
he is coming back pretty quickly too.
HotHand, how do you feel?
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
was
wait, whoa,
mixed,
my bad,
but
Hot. Yo, Gamera is only plus 350 for a KO. That's actually insane.
I was mixed on it. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's Stu Bronx or my bad Predator. In Rio, at pick'em odds against Mateus Gamrot. I mean, Gamrot's known for the wrestling, the BJJ. I think Oliveira's a better BJJ grappler than Gamrot is a wrestler. So I think Oliveira could catch a sub, and I do think Oliveira is the better striker. And I think like a good point Mike said with Oliveira coming off that KO, how easily could Gamrot get a KO? You know, that's in question. So I think fight not to go to the distance at minus 210 is a beautiful lay piece, or if you want to play it as a straight, the under 3.5. But I think someone's going to get finished before 25 minutes. But I do think Oliveira will get the better end. So you could play his money line or some sort of under.
All right. So we've pretty much broken down everything here for the card. Uh, Before we go into our podcast collab, we're gonna do a thing from gem members. We're gonna pick one gem member to pick a play each week. This one we have Hail Trey, submitted with Ricardo, Ramos, and round two to start. You're getting that around minus 130 or minus 140. So That's his pick. But we'll carry on to the podcast collab. What do you boys got? We didn't have time to make the graphic, but I
Store Nicoll money line.
Mo Stort Nicoll money line.
It's risky. It's risky, guys. But if we win, it'll pay off a
I
lot.
mean, shit, bro. Everyone's going on fucking value plays here.
Nah, it's
So I
not even
would.
about value. It's
Yeah,
just like that's not even a value play. I really think he got that shit, and it's -110. He's usually like,
not a
well,
value
last
play.
fight,
It's good odds.
yeah, like that's great odds.
You don't got. We
I'm
can still
saying like,
-250 minimum because there's a 3-legger. So even if one person has
Yeah,
minus two
exactly.
fifty, we're
Just
still getting good
do
odds.
what you like. I think that's like my most confident pick of the fight. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, of the night.
So even if we
And
both
all right,
pick
honestly,
give
don't
me.
minus
get me
two
wrong, it
fifties,
could lose if he gets knocked out. But like, I feel like if he doesn't get knocked, if there's no flash KO, he's not losing, bro.
how do you feel, hot hand? 1 years.
Yeah, give me Oliveira and Gamrot not to go the distance at -210.
And
I
Walter
like that.
Walker's fights off, so that kind of fucks with my original pick. But I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna take under 2.5 rounds. Uh, in Vitor Petrino versus Thomas Petersen. I'm looking at the odds. It's probably not the best odds because I'm on DraftKings right now. But you get them
Plus
at
387 for me.
on DraftKings.
Yeah.
Yeah, plus
I,
380.
I I added 3 more picks to it, and it comes out to plus 2222. Clayton Carpenter money line, Ricardo Ramos money line, and Jonathan Diniz money line. That's what you guys all said, right? all the picks that we were about to pick but didn't pick.
That's like my third option. I got my first one robbed. I liked the under in the Walter Walker fight a lot. And then I just got hold on it. But
Yeah,
now,
but that fight is not there no more.
yeah, I'm taking the other two and a half
Not
in the
even
Vitor
on, it's not
Petrino
even
fight.
on DraftKings anymore.
Yeah, so plus 387. That's the 3-legger. We're going a little riskier this week. Fight not to go the distance. Fight not to go the distance. Taking the fucking wrong picks. You got plus 387, Mo?
Yeah.
All right, bet. That's what it is. Took long on the end part, but thanks for tuning in, guys. And we'll see you guys at the cash counter, of course. Good luck.